Guys, welcome back. Top left corner, Team Acer currently bringing the team up 1-0 is going to be Paranoid. Played very well in that ZVT.
I think I'm paranoid.
Very far bottom right corner, it's going to be Ellen Key from NSHOseo. It's our light pink Zerg player.
There's no song for that.
No,
No
I thought of
song
like
for
making a
Ellen Key.
play off the name Key and be like, oh, you were so on key with that song you were singing, but I was like, that's a stupid joke. I'm not going to say it out loud.
Oh, the number of jokes that actually get thought of and not said
Yeah.
is staggering.
But that's the thing about jokes is you just got to throw them out there and see if they hit or not, you know?
Sometimes you know a joke's great, but you know your co-commentator may be so deep in thought or deep in action as play-by-play is going by, like that doesn't get said. Sometimes it's because it's a bad joke.
Yeah.
Sometimes it's because it's not particularly an acceptable joke. It may involve certain parts of the body or just generally not be, you know, appropriate for broadcasting.
Yeah, sometimes.
Yeah.
I've done a couple of those jokes.
Maybe if it was narrowcasting.
It was who? Who's Narrow? I don't know Narrow.
Okay, so it might not be available for broadcasting, but maybe for narrowcasting.
Oh. Yeah. That was one of those jokes that you shouldn't
You know,
say.
T for
Well, guys, into the ZVZ here, and we actually might have a 16 hatchery. Ding. Oh, no, that's 15 hatchery. And a 16 hatchery from Paranoid. Just a tad bit on the greedy side. Had there been a 10 pull, you would be dead. No way, shape, form, but it looks like Paranoid feeling a little bit confident. I know Ellen Key, for the most part, opens up a nice amount of hatcheries. One of the things from Ellen Key's play, if she does win this match, actually, need to keep an eye on him for creep spread. He's one of the Zergs that actually doesn't like to spread creep for some reason.
Yeah.
So that's something to point out. If we have him lose, I would actually bring out MMA right afterwards if I was Acer.
So now we're at a point where our players, I would, MMA is the player I feel like I'd leave towards the end, but
No way, man.
we'll have to,
You gotta bring him out. Shut people down. You gotta keep that record at 10-2. Don't
Yeah.
want to lose on that record, man. You want to stay in first place.
is he really killing that bad?
He went. He went 4-0. The one time he did come up for Acer, I believe. And then the rest of the team forfeited, if I remember correctly. I know there was one forfeit for Acer. I think it was Fnatic actually that did the forfeit.
Yeah, Fnatic.
Yep.
I remember they did actually have to forfeit recently.
Yeah, they aren't doing so well lately.
Oh yeah, we casted that match.
Yeah.
Yeah, I think the last game was on Morwin.
So
many games, man. So many games. I'm excited to see what happens in this one. Ellen Key went with a little less of a greedy opening. Paranoid, as you were pointing out. He did open with that hatchery. He went for the later spawning pool. Ellen Key actually went for a 15-15. But Paranoid went for 16 on the hatch and then actually took a 16 gas and then went for pull. So he's got very quick speed here. Whereas Ellen Key, well, not so much, actually. Should be starting speed any second here as he's now got 100 gas. But he's a little too preoccupied with getting out Zerglings first. 120, 130.
there's really not too much of an advantage going for a 16 hatchery. I think around like 27, 28, you get an extra drone out. Like, and honestly, that's just me pulling numbers out. Like, seriously, it's really not that big of an advantage. There comes to a point where you wait too long to get your hatchery up. That means you delay your pool, which means you delay queen production, which means overall you delay larva production. So I really feel like 15 hatchery is just the most optimal. But
yeah, 15, 17
yeah, it's
is like
really
your spawning pool will actually finish at the exact same time that your hatcheries finish. So you can start both queens at the same time.
So I'm wondering if that was just like a bit of a mess up. Sometimes you accidentally make another drone and you're like, oh, well, let's go for the 16 pool.
Hey, I could feel the same way going up against a player like Ellen Key.
Or, of course, it could be a pro like Paranoid, and he has a roach timing build potentially figured out here. Roaches are a little bit better, in my opinion, in terms of defensive early in ZVZ, but he is saving up a lot of gas, which really leads me to believe that he wants to get the aggression on.
Yeah, it's a great observation. We're waiting for those overlords, and there's one. There should be another one here if he intends to go for really heavy aggression. We should see another overlord queued up any second. But no, he's still making drones, actually. Queuing up more and more of those, so we'll have to wait and see. Either way, Ellen Key, we were talking about, you know, being notorious for going for Mutalisks. And if that's the case, Paranoid, you know, his build is designed to kill a player who, if he does go for this roach aggression, it's designed to kill players who go for fast mutas. This build is designed to do. Link's coming in right now, and they're going to pick off a drone or two and then get caught.
So, Ellen Key has shown that he has a speed already and a majority of links. Paranoid should get the roaches out, but have them sit on the ramp for a little bit and try and kill off about half these lings. If you can kill half these lings off, then I'll get the aggression happening across the middle of the map. But Ellen Key will be aware of this aggression potentially coming.
I really don't like Paranoid's position here. He's got to use these roaches defensively. LNK used Lynx, which are way more...
Yeah,
oh, he's even going to get the run by into the main right now. He's going to pick off this Queen. This Queen has almost no... well, the Lynx do overextend a little, get into the drone line, but not so low. 25 dead is that Queen, and now just a couple more drones will go down. LNK leaving these Lynx. Look how they're all the way in the back right. Now he'll run to this back right corner. And he just wants to make these roaches stay at home as long as possible so he has time to repair on the other side of things. But there are Lynx going for a counterattack here. Picking off a couple of workers. 3 to 5 is the kill count thus far.
There's actually a really good control there from LNK. He went into the main, and then after he noticed that there was a whole position with the drones, he actually clicked a couple of the drones to actually focus them down. And then when the drones would attack move, then he A moved, and then afterwards he clicked on the Queen. There was a lot of maneuvering happening with those Lynx, and he made the most optimal situation out of it. But he's got to be really careful, because Paranoid's going on the aggression here. He did make 9 roaches before that aggression happened. He did retain all of them, and LNK is aware of it. He's making 4 sparring claws right away, 3 actually at the moment, and also getting a lot of Lings out. Yep.
I don't know that this is enough, man. I'm a little worried for LNK right now. How many units thrown away? 3 spawns, 6 Lings.
Banelings are really important here.
This is not a lot of units for LNK. He has almost nothing here. If these roaches come around to the right-hand side, I mean, the Lings are dead. There's not that many to trap them. If he can hug against this wall and come behind this mineral line, quickly find himself in a position where he can't be defeated. But he does need to make the move. He's got 13 roaches to basically 13 Zerglings right now. In fact, exactly 13 Zerglings for LNK. But no, he's kind of face running here into these spawn crawlers, and I think if he commits right now, he can pick this off before the Spire's done.
3 spine colors are really hard to run into because you also have a Ling follow-up at the same time, so you're afraid of getting nailed with Banelings or you miss a rally point or anything. Especially with a 4th finishing up and a double Queens with potential transfuses, it's just really hard to go into. And so behind us, he's just fainting pressure. He's going to put a 3rd hatchery up, but the real story is that LNK's actually finishing up his Spire right behind all this. Unfortunately for him, he's been having to pop out a lot of units, get a lot of Banelings out, so he won't have the necessary gas to make a lot of
now he does
list,
it.
but now roaches are suddenly in the natural. They're going to be following up with some Lings as well. The roaches run on, and they get a decent hit off, but not really the most cost effective. The roaches behind the mineral line, you can't get surface area, and they're away from the spine crawlers. They're actually doing a hefty amount of damage.
Yeah, he could have done this a lot earlier, but it looks like it may work just as well. Doing it now, only 3 mutas on the way here in order to save LNK, and it looks to me like Paranoid just knows his opponent a little bit too well. LNK, we were talking about the muta play. Paranoid goes for a build that's designed to destroy muta play, and it's working. It's just simply working.
Yeah, LNK really messed up the defense there. Need to have Lings prevent those roaches from running straight into your mineral line, because those 4 spine cars are what's going to hold that push. And completely, Paranoid made a great play of sneaking straight around it. Now we have Lings constantly running in the main, running in the natural, just funneling through these spine cars, killing off whatever they can. And finally, LNK's going to start holding 20 more Lings on the way. But how many drones were killed off?
He's killing more. Still, 17 workers killed thus far. And I think, did he get one more? No, the Zergling did go down. But that damage dealt by Paranoid completely got him back into this game, if not ahead. 30 to 25 right now is the worker count for our 2 players. But mutas are on the field for LNK, which is a notable tech advantage. And Lair is only about halfway done at this point for Paranoid.
Paranoid is trying to finish up his evolution chamber at the same time. Unfortunately, or for LNK, he's not getting the aggression on. He's actually just floating around killing off overlords, which will give time for Paranoid to get Spore Collared up. He has a couple of Queens already on the field. He's creating 2 more at the same time. So he will have defense against these 4 measly mutas. You actually need 6 to take on 1 Queen without losing 1, that is. They will trade if you have 5 of them.
Yeah,
you don't micro.
That's actually really good to know. I'm surprised, man, that LNK isn't killing off these overlords, though. You know, we saw him doing it a little bit earlier.
Now he is finally.
Now he's starting to do it. But this is, 600 minerals that will instead be, say, 300 that he'll manage to kill. He could have killed all of these mutas because he was killing these 2 earlier. And, he got a little bit of scouting information, I guess. He saw the lair timing. But other than that, not too much.
Another run by straight into the main. We'll get a few more kills off. Looks like there's 3 more there. So nice run by Paranoid. Yeah, LNK was just really undecisive with his first 4 mutas. I mean, you create your mutas and you think, I don't really have that much damage. So he just kind of A-moved over there, I believe, and was trying to defend with everything in the main and the natural, so they got stuck on the overlords. And that's why he couldn't really make the decision. Just, I don't know. LNK, unfortunately, with these mutas, just not getting what he wants to get done. And it all goes down to Paranoid and his really good roach push and the way he got into the mineral line. It really threw off all of LNK's mid-play.
Well, at this point, I don't know, man. It's a little tough to call. Paranoid, is on 3 bases with 54. LNK, it's hard to actually call it in LNK's favor here. He's just he had the tech advantage, but he hasn't been able to do anything with it. Now, coming to the mutas and links, there's the thing called transfuse, and it's making this queen not die. And LNKey just lost a bunch of units for absolutely nothing whatsoever. He traded energy that, honestly, Paranoid wasn't using anyway, so this is a tough spot for LNKey at this point. He's got to get down an extractor. He's got to, no, it's not going to happen. That's going to die.
This is the second hatchery that Ling has denied, actually. There's been 2 drones to go there. Paranoid really doing work now. He's only going to get stronger, too. The third economy's up. He's got almost double the drones of LNKey. Finally, LNKey starting to pop out some drones. Oh my gosh, not double. It did pop up there. But he was at like 30 there, and it was like 54, I think, for Paranoid. He's falling up to the +1 roaches. He's going to have the 3 economies available to keep pumping out those roaches. The number of gas here, so he can evolve into more tech if he wants to. And he's even going for that Nidus network, as you can see pointed out by Kibbles there. So, Paranoid, if he can get this Nidus network down, should be able to straight up kill LNKey.
Yep, I agree. We'll be waiting to see where he puts it down. Possible locations here. He honestly could come clean up some Mutalisks with, you know, the Hydras that he's going to have on the field here. Actually, he hasn't really made any Hydras. He's just, yeah, he's got
the tech available.
He's going to make a couple now.
He just put that tech down in case LNKey went crazy and just pumped muta. But LNKey is only able to get 2 or 3 out at a time. He's trying to drone up at the same time as well. Finally falling up into his own Roach Warren. LNKey is looking pretty dead just in terms of what's on paper here. But Acer Paranoid needs to get the aggression done pretty soon. There is actually the Nidus network in the top right corner at around the 3 o'clock position.
Yeah. This is where it's going to be attacking right now. Mutalisk will be catching some of these Hydras, but then Nidus is 3/4 of the way done. And Paranoid, he's actually moving on the map. Is he going to... Are there any units in this Nidus? No, there are not. This is going to be Queens rejoining here in a second.
He's pumping Hydras in the Nidus network so he can reinforce faster. Really intelligent play here. Going to make his push that much more stronger. And the mutas are going to be floating above the roaches, so the Hydras all popping out, suddenly flank in. It's going to throw off LNKey completely. Roaches are going to go ahead and bait these mutas straight into the Hydras. There's only a couple of them in 1 queen. Should start breaking down those rocks, though. You don't want to waste time here. Yeah,
the Hydras are actually making their way across the field right now, so not really actually using the Nidus Worm that
Good. Cool concept. Execution is not done.
Execution is void. All right, so Roaches right now, there's a lot of them, but there's no Hydras here. Notably, they would be here if they'd use the Nidus network.
Wow, suddenly a huge fuck of mutas, though, are going to be able to kill off these queens, and they can deal with Hydras in low numbers pretty well. It's really important here for Paranoid to kill off these hatcheries, and he's going to be doing that, splitting up the roaches. A couple running down in the natural with the spine cars that were made earlier are there. The mutas are chasing him down, and it looks like Paranoid's going to keep up the aggression, too. He's going to have these roaches run straight in the main and try and get LNKey to get those mutas to go to the main while his other roaches pop into the natural and get some more damage done. And it looks like it's being effective so far. Going to go ahead and focus down the Spire, so looks like LNKey's going to be on 2 base without a potential Spire. Can he save it? Is he going to save it? It's so close. Ah, he saves it. Wow.
34 hit points remaining on that Spire. LNKey is catching a couple of more of the Hydralisks, moving their way across the map. Not using that Nidus network still. But the third for LNKey was cleaned up, by the way. And at this point, LNKey, you know, he's not bringing in the money. Simply putting means, he cannot fight that. Yeah. That is far too many Hydralisks. But with no Roach support, if he can get a couple of Lings on the ground, you know, get himself 30, 40 Lings, something like that. Let's take a look at this production tab, see if there's any. 10 Lings on the way right now, but Roaches are going to be joining up with this soon. That's going to make this so much harder. So what he needs from here is a Baneling speed. He needs Baneling speed in order to deal with these Hydras.
Engagement happening once again. The Lings are popping in to try and throw out that AI there for the Hydras, but it's just not enough. LNKey looks like he's giving up. He knows he can't get that third up. Does a full-on engagement, loses nearly half his mutas. And Paranoid keeps moving forward. He's playing really well.
I think he just threw this game. He may have been able to fight that if he had Banelings. If he had made tons and tons of Banelings, there were no Roaches to defend this army and simply steamroll into those Hydras. But with no Banelings at all, and just... I mean, face checking essentially against those Hydralisks. He's now in a dire position. Going for a counterattack and to try to get some economic damage here. Paranoid is getting ready for an attack as well.
All right, so moving forward, those Lings. Actually, he sent some Roaches back to deal with them. Finally, they will get cleaned up. But they started coming to the middle of the fight. Gonna go ahead and start focusing on this hatchery with the Roaches. Hydras will deal with the mutas. Lings come in from the side. Can LNKey break this if he kills the Hydras? He certainly can. The Roaches will get the hatchery either way, but no. Too much firepower from the Hydras. The mutas are going to be cleaned up. There's 2 more left. It is so close. 2 low mutas. Oh, they get the last Hydra, but the hatchery does fall, and Paranoid can keep up the aggression.
Here's the thing, though. Paranoid's roaches can't shoot up. These mutas will eventually kill all the roaches.
Eventually, it's like
every
18 hours.
building belonging to LNKey has been cut off. Link's coming in right now to make a little bit of a difference. I don't know that it's going to be enough, though. LNKey down to just 71 supply. 2 bases with his natural expansion nearly mined out. His main pretty much gone. He's got nothing much left to do from here.
Well, Paranoid just keeping the aggression up. 9 more roaches on the way. Finally kills that Spire from damaging it earlier. And there's mutas, and they are slowly pelting away, but those tanky roaches and the damage they're putting out is too much. GG! Looks like Paranoid going up 2-0, man.
Acer off to a very nice start here at the hands of Paranoid. He's playing incredibly well.
Yeah.
In that series there versus LNKey, I mean, he obviously knew his opponent. If he didn't, it was honestly a very fortunate play for him. He executed it pretty well. I felt, I was like, oh, come on, go for it, go for it. Eventually he did.
Yeah.
And it was still before there were a lot of mutas on the field, so he dealt with it quite handily.
Yeah, I mean, good job to Paranoid by getting around that mineral line and getting the natural. I really feel like LNKey messed up a lot. He had 30 links available to him. You just need to get those links on that side there. There will be 2 spine crawlers that were available to get poking damage, and that would still help out a lot. And he also had Bailings to kind of keep up around the top side to deal with the lings that were coming in that rallying in. He just didn't think that Paranoid was going to dive in, and Paranoid just went with his gut and said, you know what, I can make it in here. And he did. So
yeah, he kind of had
to
at that point. I mean, you're very invested when you make that many roaches. And the part where I just wanted to facepalm was, LNKey unfortunately did throw all those Mutalisks into the Hydras.
That's true.
And those Hydras had +2. That doesn't really work compared to the Mutas, which at the end of the game were still 0-0. +2 Hydras, man, will tear those things to shreds. Guys, Acer's up 2-0 right now. Tim, are they going to keep running like this, or is somebody going to put a stop to him eventually?
Paranoid's got this, man. He's going to all kill. I believe in him, man. I believe in it. I believe.
Will you bet your pants against that?
No, I won't, actually.
All right.
I enjoy these pants. These are a really good pair, man. They're blue. They make my calves look good. Alrighty, guys. Let's run to a quick commercial break. A commercial back. We're going to do a commercial break, guys.
We'll be back from a commercial break.
We'll be back from a commercial break. That's what I was going for.
See you guys in a minute.
In a 5th Entombed Valley. Old is metal and the teamless genius. So he has joined in team movements, has now joined the